So I was saying I'm really grateful to have met you. I met you backstage before you went on online. And what I wanted to speak to you about was, what I was incredibly struck by was the sincerity with which you dealt with questions and criticisms and even mistakes. And I think what you've done for maybe your peers is you've made it okay to say I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think in an age of everybody just pretending and essentially just basic their way through it.
Do you know what it is? What I've realised in life, and I've learnt it on The Apprentice, and I've learnt it generally in life, being self-reflective is one of the most important skills to have. Understanding that not everybody's perfect, not everyone can do everything. You got to understand where your strengths are, and you use that to develop yourself and become the best person possible you can, and that will just help you in life. And I really feel like that showed on The Apprentice.
But to be fair, I'm more interested, and I try to keep things positive, but I'm more interested in your weaknesses because you're quite honest. You go, look, I don't know what I was doing there. I made a mistake.
Yeah.
And people aren't willing to do that.
Yeah.
They want to make their mistake an untruth. They go, no, that was right.
Yeah.
And I think, how do you move forward if you're not willing to admit your mistakes?
Makes sense.
And I think that was very vulnerable of you to do.
100%.
And I think you won a lot of love from people that would otherwise be willing to. And this council culture that exists is because people aren't willing to admit their mistakes.
100%.
You're basically showing this another way, which is just say, look, I don't know what I'm doing.
Exactly.
I made a mistake.
Yeah.
You know what you're going to do.
What are you going to do? And I think that's the best way to move forward, because if you just can't admit where you're going wrong, how are you going to ever get better? Yeah. The moment you realise what you're doing wrong, you can just work on making that thing, just getting things better. So it's a great skill to have, and I feel like it's a brave skill to have as well, because the biggest thing to do is admit where you're going wrong, because it's just, I think it's the coward way out, saying that, oh, now it's okay, or just trying to talk your way out of it, basically.
I agree with that. And you see that, ironically, a lot of that on The Apprentice.
Yeah.
People essentially escaping their fate. You can't escape your fate, but essentially they're escaping the boardroom just through lying.
Yeah.
And you didn't really, from what I saw, you didn't really sort of engage with that. No. And again, I think that's quite commendable, brother. And you may have lost it in that Apprentice round, but I think you won a lot of hearts.
100%. 100%. I think Lord Sugar himself, I think I won his heart, and I think he really liked me, and he had a soft spot for me. It's because of that. I had lost 7 tasks in total, and he was just still kept on keeping me in, because he was he could tell that I was willing to learn, and I was willing to just do whatever it takes to go further. So I think I won everyone's heart, and big man, no sugars.
Respect, man. I think the teaching that comes to my mind is that if you practice, there's an old English saying, oh, what a tangled web we weave when we practice to deceive. Yeah. It's keep it simple, man. Just tell it as it is and live your life. You know what I mean?
100%, 100%. Life's too short. You got to do whatever it takes to just maximize your ability, and that one of the best ways is by being self-reflective, and that's what I want.
The thing that really got my heart, that was, I think, I don't know what short round it was. It was when you were, people were asking what you were mumbling when you were maybe going to in the firing line. Yeah. And then you made a video. So look, a lot of people were asking questions while I was mumbling, because I was doing my prayers, I was doing Simran.
Yeah.
The reason I was doing that is because I was. So.
Yeah, 100%.
And what I found really wonderful about that was the sincerity.
Yeah.
And who very few people do that. They want to just live a life of lies.
100%.
There's no fear.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we should live in fear either. But but if you are in a fearful state of mind, to be honest about that, because you can confront it. And that was what were your thoughts on that?
I feel like because a lot of people, after watching that first episode and seeing how it went for me being project manager and seeing me mumble, and you could see literally the red in my eyes. I'm humble enough to admit that I was in a state where I, when good or bad, when things go wrong or good in my life, I go to WhyGuru either for thankfulness or for some sort of help. And that was one time I did it, and I'm going to stay authentic to that. And look, I'm in front of Lord Sugar, and I'm trying to fight for £250,000 worth of investment. Of course I'm going to be it's not going to be the best environment. I'm this close to being fired, and then the whole of the community saying, Sing Niki Kitna. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it was a very hard time for me, and you can't hide away from what's in front of you. And I feel like some people in life, whether that's in The Apprentice or whatever, they try to fake who they are, and you will get caught out one day or the other. I know people say fake it until you make it, but then there comes to some sort of barrier that, you maybe actually never make it.
There's a saying that people think that they get punished if they get caught out with their lies.
Yeah.
But what they don't realise is that when you're lying, you're living in the shadows.
Yes.
You can live your whole life in the shadows, never get found out, but you look back and your whole life is in the shadows. So what's the point?
What's the point? And I actually have this weird thing in my heart when something happens and I'm not being authentic to myself. It might be something that visually looks good to the world, but in my heart you just don't have that satisfaction. Then what's the point? At the end of the day, people will probably give your praises, a day later they're thinking about their own life now. So, but if in your heart you waking up not happy with something, that's where it's the first L basically. So yeah.
I think it's ironic. It's actually a beautiful message. The sun's on your face right now, bro. You're not in the shadows right now.
No.
Let's finish up, bro. There's a Shabbat Mother talks about the truth always being present in the past, before time, in fact, in the past, right now, and always. Aad Sach, Jugad Sach, Hai Pi Sach, Nanaka, Hosi Pi Sach. Love, bro.
Love meeting you.
Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa,
Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Please donate and help spread Guruji's message. Link is in the description below. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.